What would it mean to win the championship, you mean?
You lose your game, your team lose, everybody not happy.
The speed from Wang Jinshen.
I'm hopeful, I'm excited, I'm motivated for the finals, and I think we can really show the East Coast our strength and become champions.
It would be for sure crazy to win the first ever actually. But if I'm fully honest, we are not the best.
Good night.
Once we get there, it's obviously, yeah, just a straight shootout to see who can win. So everything's possible if we get there.
And Amy Wang finishes it for Texas.
The only thing that is very important is that we keep the atmosphere we have and that we cultivate the winning state, because the championship weekend already started now.
Welcome to the final weekend, the playoff weekend of Major League Table Tennis in its first ever season. I'm Adam Bobrow, and we are coming to you live from Chicago, Illinois, USA, and this is the playoff weekend. Are you guys ready for the action? That's what I thought. So without any further ado, let's welcome in our officials, Jorge Vanegas and Jovana Knežević. And coming in first, they were first place in the West Division with 237 points. They've got Olympians, they've got US Open champions of men and women. A big warm welcome for the Bay Area Blasters! Led by coach Maggie Tien, Jinbao Ma, Tao Wen Zhang, El Sayed Lashin, Sonura Silva, Lily Zhang, and Alexis Duan. And as the #1 team in the West, they're going to be battling the #2 team from the East. They are the Cinderella story, starting off at 4th place and battling their way into this final weekend with 252 points throughout the season. A warm welcome for Princeton Revolution! Led by coach Matthias Habason, Jishan Liang, Wang Jinxin, Koyo Kanamitsu, Matthew de Santellan, Angela Guan, and Yevgen Prishepa. So, now that all the warriors have entered the arena, let's shake some hands and slap some skins and let the games begin.
The journey has led us here. After 88 matches over the course of 13 weekends, over 1,300 games, we arrive at Gentile Arena on the campus of Loyola University, Chicago, and we welcome you to the very first Major League Table Tennis Championship weekend. The top seed out of the West, the Bay Area Blasters, set to battle the 2nd seed in the East, the Princeton Revolution. We welcome you to semifinals Saturday, everybody. Evan Lepler with the Hall of Famer Sean O'Neill. It's a great privilege to be with you, and it has been an exhilarating and fantastic first season in this league, Sean. And here we are, ready for the biggest matches of the year with so much on the line.
Yeah, in this first semifinal, we do have the best of the West versus the beast of the East. Both teams coming in ready to go. This is going to be a star-studded match.
The lineups are so critical, and there's certainly some eyebrow-raising decisions made by the coaches, at least from our perspective. Let's enlighten you as well with what the lineup is going to be. Tao Wen Zhang versus Jishan Liang will get it started. It's going to be a really riveting match, but what else catches your eye as we get things rolling?
I mean, the match I'm looking forward to is singles number 3 with Lachine. Powerful player on both forehand, backhand against a defensive specialist, de Saint-Talon. Should be some very long rallies, a lot of cat and mouse, back and forth. Should be an excellent match.
How about the fact that Koyo Kanamitsu could not attend the first weekend in Daytona Beach when this all started, so a guy named Sonora Silva took his spot. He found a home in MLTT. It's semifinals Saturday. First serve coming up. All season long, teams have been competing for points, and then the Golden Game was worth 6 at the end. But that has all changed for championship weekend, because now, Sean O'Neill, it always will come down to the Golden Game. There's no limit on how big of a lead a team could have. If it's 8-7, the Golden Game will start 1-0, and it's all on the line in a game to 21. If it's 11-4, it'll be a 7-0 advantage going into the Golden Game. We've never seen that before, but we know we start with Tao En-jung against Jishan Liang. Championship weekend, Major League Table Tennis from the Windy City. Here we go. Tao En-jung with an early haymaker to take the opening point.
And look for Tao to be very offensive-minded, both on the forehand side, but also the back. And he's using pen holder grip, gives him a little bit more of an advantage on the serve and serve return.
Jishan unloading on that serve.
Jishan has the biggest forehand in the league. You just look at him, any opportunity to turn the corner will get that forehand into play.
When you saw this matchup, Tao En-jung versus Jishan Liang, what came to your mind first?
Well, it's a little bit of experience with Tao being a former US Open champion. That ball hit the back edge. Jishan has been playing so well lately, especially in MLTT, that you can't really stop his power. But if anyone can, Tao with both the two-winged attack, the forehand and the backhand, that might nullify Jishan a little bit.
2-3.
Two-winged attack, the forehand and the backhand, that might nullify Jishan. Tao is dealing with a little bit of a knee injury throughout the season. Looks like he's back in good form right now for championship weekend.
3-3.
Jishan has had a strong finish to the season in particular.
And that shot, Evan, right there when Tao Wen-jung just played a controlled block. Jishan really has to cover the whole table with his forehand if he wants to power through this match. So Tao very aware of placement is a great nullifier of the big power.
5-3.
Sean, do you think the format change for championship weekend impacts the mindset of the players or the coaches at all?
I'm not sure if it does, but it should. And the reason why is every game now almost has a multiplier. Since you're not stuck at 5-point maximum, if you can do that 11-4, those 2 extra points are going to be even more of an advantage going into the golden game. But just looking at the matchup head-to-head with all of these 5 matches, 4 singles and doubles, it looks very competitive. I don't see one team blowing out the other ones. That's why these guys are in the championship. It's because they're strong at all positions. I also expect a lot of golden points here today, both in the first and second semifinal.
There'll be a different kind of pressure when we get to the golden game, that's for sure. Tied 6-6 here in game 1 between Wenjong and Liang. As a reminder, the 88 matches over the course of the regular season, the team leading heading into the golden game won 70 of the 88 times. That's about 80% of the time.
And there's the control by Tao.
7-6.
Using the backhand, going down the line, playing his strength into Jishan's backhand, which is not where he wants to be playing. Lucky break there. It looked like it hit the edge or the finger of Jishan's backhand, just completely changed the spin. You can see Jishan raising his hand, saying sorry for the lucky break, but it's now 7-all.
Long from Wenjong, and it's Liang back in front.
Eight. 8-7.
What a great backhand over the table by Tao Wen-jung. Just jumped all over that serve.
Both these players won more than they lost during the regular season. Right next to each other in the MLTT power rankings.
Oh, great defense there by Jishan Liang. Kept the ball in front of him. Tao Wen-jung bringing everything, both on the forehand and backhand side. Serve return just popped up too high.
Jishan was backpedaling as soon as the serve return was in the air, hanging up there.
Yeah, he knew that, misread it. And Tao Wen-jung's over-the-table game, very strong.
Well, 9-all here in game 1. Heck of a way to begin this weekend.
And the power of Jishan Liang just rifled that forehand off of a very nice opening by Tao Wen-jung.
Jishan has the first game point. And he'll take game 1, 11-9, and Princeton has been the underdog story all season long. They started the year 1-6, but they're the hottest team in the league, Sean, coming into championship weekend. And a big reason why, the performance of the lethal lefty, Jishan Liang, has Princeton up 1-0.
1-0, Princeton to serve.
The season has been a revolution for this Princeton team, considering where they started and where they are right now
0-0.
here in this moment at championship weekend. Tao Wen-Zhang scores the opening point in game number 2.
0-1.
Season was more of a roller coaster, Sean, for the Bay Area Blasters. You know,
1-1.
Princeton was bad, and then it was great. Bay Area was up and down. You know, first weekend of the year in Santa Cruz, in the Bay Area, they were just 1-2 in matches. In November, they went 3-0 in Texas, and they went just 1-2 in Houston, but they were the best of the West in Rock Hill, the interdivisional weekend, and that kind of set the tone, although they did go 0-3 when Tao Wen-Zhang was out in January in Portland before finishing the season winning 4 out of their last 6 matches over the past couple of months.
And Evan, I think one of the challenges for all the teams, they've got 8 players for each team, is finding the schedule when the players can make the matches. A lot of these players have obligations for their national team to play in World Championships or Pan Am Championships, so there was a little bit of, can you bring your full team? And this weekend, everyone's here, so we're going to definitely see which team has the most depth, as well as it can bring it in the Golden Game.
Along with the format rules from a points perspective is setting up the Golden Game. The roster rules have been tweaked a little bit for championship weekend. Each team has 6 players here, and only 5 will play in each match. But you don't need to switch it up. You could play the same 5 both Saturday and Sunday. And I think, Sean, you and I were both a little surprised that Yevgen Prishepa was not in the lineup for the Revolution.
Yeah, he has been so strong. But while we will play for 3rd place, every team right now is shooting for the Major League Table Tennis Cup.
$50,000 to the champion. $100,000 in prize money to be awarded this weekend altogether.
Oh, look at the backhand by Jishan Liang, just right off the bounce. When you can score on your weak side like that, just wait for his forehand to come into play. Look at that, just turning the corner, all out.
5-4.
Pulling out all the stops, just full rip. 3-point touch.
No shortage of lets so far in this game.
Excellent play on the deep serve return by Tao Wen-Zhang.
He was ready for it.
Yeah, he knows that Jishan will take some risks, serve it out deep in order to set up the forehand. Tao's experience is such a big key in his game. Jishan's forehand. If he can land it consecutively, he's the heavy favorite. Tao Wen-Zhang can keep him off balance. That's what the Blasters want to do.
Now, when Princeton met the Bay Area Blasters in December, it was the Sunday, the last match each team played. Blasters won 14-7, but there was no Jishan Liang that weekend for Princeton. Changed the look of the lineup dramatically.
6-6.
Tao Wen-Zhang was not there either.
7-6.
I beg your pardon. Tao was there. Tao only played doubles in that match. Take that back. He beat Prishepa 2-1.
And maybe that's one of the reasons a lot of these coaches will not risk playing a losing order a second time. That's some.
Wow. Catching a break with the net ball, and Liang leaves no doubt.
I mean, he's covering the entire table with his forehand, and knowing that once that ball hit the net, his job was to get in and keep the power going. Net ball, Tao forced just to return it, but Jishan up at the table, putting it away. Again, excellent placement. Tao Wenjung often going to the backhand side. Does not want to give Jishan a chance to counterattack on the forehand. Just like we were in game 1. All tied up at the end.
8-9.
And it's these little points for Tao Wenjung. Good placement, using the penholder opposite side. Call it the RPB, reverse penhold. Has a lot more angles, put a little bit more side spin on the ball. But that's going to be a problem. You cannot return a serve off the end of the table and not expect Jishan Liang to finish it.
9-9.
Put him in a body bag right there.
I mean, you got to replace the divots. I mean, that's just a blast into the...
Second straight game, 9-all.
Overplay.
Second straight game, Liang takes a 10-9 lead.
9-10.
Tao Wenjung has played poorly here.
Yeah, he's gone for the shots that he has to go for, because he knows if he just puts it on the table, that forehand's going to await him.
Jishan sends it just off the edge. So for the first time here at Championship Weekend, we have arrived at Golden Point.
Look for Jishan to try to third ball attack with the forehand. Look for Tao to try to drop the serve and nullify the server advantage.
Liang has a 2-0 lead for the Princeton Revolution, edging Tao Wenjung in back-to-back games.
Just great getting that forehand into play. Tao went offensive. Jishan said, here comes my forehand. Great play by the Revolution.
Jishan Liang with a 2-0 lead, 11-9 and 11-10, taking the Golden Point in that last game. And now they play one more game to 11. Jishan has won the head-to-head match, but obviously a huge difference whether the score is 3-0 or 2-1. Part of the quirky MLTT format pioneered by Flint Lane and his staff this season that has made this sport come alive in a brand new way.
And Evan, the thing I like about it is it's almost like 3 final individual matches. Each game counts on its own. Winning 3 straight, very difficult. So players just fighting when they're down 2-0, not to give up that big lead to the opposing team.
1-2.
We're in that situation right now. Jishan, he can go up 3-0. It puts so much pressure on Silva
3-1
versus Koyo.
3-2.
I've tried to keep track of certain numbers all season long, and now that we're through an entire regular season, same player has won the first 2 games of a match about 53% of the time. So almost 50-50. We get a 1-1 split versus a 2-0. When a player wins the first 2 games, they win about 60% of the time in game 3. But as we chronicle all season long, there's been a big difference in East Division players having that 3rd game to complete the sweep, and West Division players. East Division players were right around 50-50 for the season, whereas West Division players won about 2/3 of the time in that last game. However, and this is a big however, during the interdivisional weekend, as we see Jishan just rip it down the line, during the interdivisional weekend, Sean, these players went 22-8 when they were up 2-0 against the West. So that just shows you the strength of the East Division. They only won 50% of the time in game 3 against a fellow East Division opponent, but they won 73% of the time in that game 3 after starting 2-0 against the West. I hope you followed me.
Yeah, and I think also with the West, it's a younger division, much younger kids. Sometimes when they lose the first 2, they kind of get deflated, whereas the seasoned pros, especially the number of top European players that are on the East, they understand you cannot give an extra game to the opposing team. You got to, right now, this is exactly what, wow.
That catches
that
the
ball
corner.
just took a super dive.
Tao can't believe it.
He thought that was going long, but the heavy topspin, able to bring it down white line.
Utter disbelief. But Tao Wenjong has been in control. Staying strong like a backboard here in game 3.
Just seeing Tao move Jishan all over the court. Oh, look at the power of Tao Wenjong. Almost looked like he put some extra force behind it just to let Jishan know 2 players can play that game with power. And Jishan tries to finish one quickly.
4-10.
Well, unless Jishan can win 7 straight here, Tao's going to salvage a point for the Blasters. There's 1 game point fought off.
5-10.
Two game points fought off. The serve now goes back to Tao.
10-6.
If for some reason, if it goes to 10-8, would not be surprised.
It's not going to get there. Jishan mishits the return. Tao claims game 3, but Jishan does win 2 points in the opening singles match to start championship weekend here in Chicago. We're just getting started. We got Sonora Silva, Koyo Kanamitsu coming up. We will chat with Jishan Liang after this quick break. It's a great atmosphere for fans of all ages here in Chicago. We've had a very exciting start. We're joined by Jishan Liang, who just took 2 out of 3 in the first singles match against Tao Wenjong. Jishan, Congratulations. What was the feeling as you took the table to start championship weekend?
Yeah, first, really exciting to play the champion, and we was number 4 all the way we come back, and really want to play first matches, try to giving us like confidence. Doesn't matter win or lose. Yeah, I just try my best. I try to fight every point.
And going into your next match, which is going to be the doubles, you're playing with Angela, who plays a different style defensive. How are you going to prepare for this coming match, knowing that they're going to be looping the ball at you very hard?
Yeah, especially I need to be ready. They attack first. I try to counter loop or I try to block, and always ready. They attack first. Yeah.
What was the key today against Tao to get the first 2 games that both were really tight?
Yeah, in beginning, I was play good because I know he liked the short game. I'm trying to start slowly, just keep the ball on the table, start topspin, and it was good.
Jishan, are you hoping to play Carolina in the finals tomorrow?
Yeah, of course.
We'll see if it happens. Congratulations on the good start. We'll see you in the doubles. Of course, if you're unaware, Jishan's wife, Hong Lin, plays for the Carolina Gold Rush. They have gone head-to-head directly in doubles a handful of times this year. You know, it'll be interesting with so much money at stake. There's a certain amount of money going back to the Lin Liang household no matter what. But obviously bragging rights mean way more than the money. Here we go. Koyo Kanamitsu versus Sonora Silva. So much backstory to this match. But it's also just a fascinating showcase of 2 really talented young players. Curious what you view as the keys for each guy in this particular matchup, Sean.
Yeah, well, Koyo, being the much older player, has huge firepower. Loves to finish it on both sides. Sonora is a little bit more of a scrambler, but he plays very good position. And look at that power right there. I mean, pound for pound, I think Silva is probably the one player in MLTT that just constantly gets it done. You don't think that he could put so much behind the ball, but great racket speed. Look at that. That caught the edge, but that was going to be a winner regardless.
A lot of players, Sean, get hot for a weekend.
2-1.
Or for a couple weekends, but Sonora has been blazing since November. I mean, he's 28-8. I mean, that's in his last several matches dating back to late November in Pleasanton.
I mean,
Koyo has also been pretty successful as well.
But I mean, this is a homecoming for Sonora, as obviously the Revolution gave him the chance to play out of the pool.
That's right.
As a reserve player.
It's a wild story. If you think about it, now Koyo was not exactly a blue chip prospect coming into the season either. He was an 8th round draft pick. And Sonora was undrafted. And here these 2 guys are, both ranked in the top 5 of the MLTT power rankings, going head-to-head at championship weekend. It's astonishing.
And I think with Koyo, especially in the first combine where the coaches had a chance to see the players, he really wasn't sure what was going on. And I would say he underperformed there, which set the table for him being selected 8th. Sonora Silva hadn't played much 2 months coming into the combine. But boy, has he played. Look at this. I mean, to win a point in this match right now, you have to not deliver 1 winner, but 2 or 3 the way these guys are playing. But boy, has he played. Look at this.
If you were the odds maker, who would you make the favorite in this match?
I think Koyo is the favorite. It's just that Sonora plays big. I mean, he might not be the better player, but he just brings his A game every single time. He just came off of I'm not going to call it a lackluster, but he won the co-ed team event at the National Collegiate Table Tennis Championships in Wisconsin, so very pleased about that, but lost to Kai Jung of the Gold Rush in singles. Here's a chance for him to get back on that winning track and help the Blasters.
5-5.
I mean, he's definitely playing 1 to 2 levels higher than I saw him at the NCTTA Championships. Look at that backhand over the table. I just don't know where that power comes from.
6-5.
6-all. I think it's fair to say there's definitely a different feel, a different intensity, and just overall tension to this match with the crowd, this new arena, the interdivisional dynamic. Everybody knows this is the finish line, and you can feel it.
Now, this feels like a U.S. Open final where every point matters, and the Blasters want to even up. Look at the, again,
ridiculous.
There's no easy shots. These are just putaways.
7-6.
Think about the recent history. Lawrenceville, New Jersey was the last event for the East. Koyo went 7-2 in singles. Sonora Silva went 5-1 in singles in Wichita. He went 6-0 in singles in Seattle right before that. So this is strength meeting strength, and so far Koyo has ripped that forehand winner a couple times more to take a 2-point lead.
6-8.
Oh, that catches the edge. Can you believe it?
I mean, to just put his Koyo, to put his racket on that ball. Silva played a great location, inside out to the backhand. Koyo takes it down the line.
Mind-boggling. And Koyo has created the first game point.
And Silva knew that that serve popped up
10-6.
right after he served it. He could feel it.
Wow. We're going to be saying wow a lot this weekend, it feels like.
10-7.
I mean, this is the fun thing when you have to hit bombs to win points, because then you just get to free throw, go for the shot. Koyo.
Well, take a deep breath, everybody. Koyo Kanamitsu takes game one, 11-7. You get the feeling these two players are just getting warmed up. A 3-1 lead for Princeton. 4 games into this first semifinal here in Chicago. There was a key edge ball winner for Koyo Kanamitsu at 8-6. That really swung the momentum of that first game. We were on serve going into that point, Sean, and it looked like Silva had hit a winner, just fighting it off, and Koyo goes on to take it 11-7 from there, so we press onward to game two.
And Silva has to keep his serve short and low, and he serves that pop up even a millimeter. Koyo is finishing with his backhand, going for winners directly off the serve.
1-1.
Excellent return by Silva.
1-2.
This ball is just being blistered back and forth. The longer the rally, look for Silva to have a slight advantage. The short shots, got to give it to Koyo.
An excellent short return by Koyo that had Silva off balance and put Koyo in control of the point.
That first drop shot negates the server's advantage. Both these players play over the table so well on the backhand side, and then they bring big forehands.
Silva hunched over in frustration after that miss.
3-3.
Silva comes from a country that you don't necessarily think of as a table tennis power. He is already a national champion in his homeland of Sri Lanka. College champion at Texas Wesleyan. And the question is, does he get a ring regardless of either the Blasters or the Revolution get the trophy at the end of this thing? Because he was a member of Princeton back in September.
Yeah, getting them into the playoffs is something he can definitely lay claim to.
It's just, I mean, it's so wild. 'Cause after that first weekend that he played for the Revolution, he was tossed back into the free agent pool.
Anyone could pick him up.
Blasters had an opening. They signed him not just for the weekend, but for the rest of the season. And he's been undeniably, inarguably, one of the best players in the league from a production, putting up points for your team standpoint, week in, week out.
Points on the board, he has gotten it done. And I will say the other intangibles are super teammate.
Right.
Always standing up, cheering, making sure his teammates have his full support. Never mailing it in, but fighting for every game and point possible.
7-5.
A great all-court player, so when you think the point's over, he's still running them down. So
he's still just 18 years old. He'll turn 19 at the end of May.
I think he said that he's looking forward to turning 19 so people give him some respect, which, gosh, with a game like that, he's got everyone's full respect within the league, and definitely in this game now with Princeton.
He could be a foundational player for the Blasters for the next decade.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now you see him moving the ball around, extending the rally, keeping constant pressure and hoping Koyo goes for too much.
9.
Cannot push that serve back. He has to either drop it
6-9
or flick it with the backhand. We saw Jishan do the exact same thing off of just the safe, deep return. It's going to be tough to stop that first attack.
9-7.
Koyo wins both points on his serve, but now Silva has an opportunity to try and close this game out on his serve.
He's got to be offensive minded. He has to serve and attack. He cannot play defense.
Great idea, wrong execution.
9-8.
1 point game.
9-8, timeout.
Timeout, Blasters.
This is one of those timeouts you don't want to have to take when you're leading.
No, backhand loop again. Now, first ball loop to middle. Don't look forehand. He's ready for you loop down the line. First ball loop middle. When he blocking the second ball game into corner, but you have to be ready. If you switch to his forehand, you have to be ready your forehand.
So which one now? Which one same? Yeah, same forehand short, yeah. But it's more important we save. So I try either backhand flip or to try jump short, jump short. Okay. We'll try a little bit quality. Just first ball is quality. Let's get it, let's get it. This one.
Come on. Be confident. Be confident. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, the challenge there is when you have 4 different players giving you advice, how do you combine it all into a clear thought when sometimes it's conflicting advice. Sometimes it's be aggressive, play to the forehand. Sometimes it's play short. Obviously, Silva has to do what makes him feel most comfortable.
If Silva said, hey, Coach Sean, where should I serve this, what would you say?
Short to the middle and then be ready to attack. So he went short to the middle, but Koyo made the first offensive move.
9-9.
Forcing Silva just to keep the ball in play.
That's 4 straight points for Kanemitsu.
But here's the deal. Silva is not going to let the last 4 points affect him in these next 2 to 3. He's going to play it just like it's even up.
Silva, as you said, going for it.
And he has such a good confidence level. He doesn't get down on himself. He doesn't get too high. Just plays 1 point at a time like you're supposed to.
Koyo needs it to create a golden point.
Oh, excellent deep serve. Challenging Silva deep to the backhand, but now Silva with another golden point.
During the regular season, we only saw golden points in about 1 in every 6 games or so. This is the second golden point we've had in 5 games today. Silva to serve. And the return sails long, so Silva squeaks past Koyo in game 2. Thought he'd have to work a little harder for that one, Sean.
Excellent service choice, mixing up the spin, changed it. Koyo goes deep.
Rubber game coming up here in the second singles spotlight. Welcome back to Gentile Arena, the home of the Ramblers on the campus of Loyola University of Chicago. Minoru Silva and Koyo Kanamitsu set for the rubber game in the second singles match. Will Princeton be up 4-2, or will Silva take this match and bring the Blasters back even on the team tally?
Silva has the momentum on his paddle right now. Taking the first point off of Koyo's serve. But Koyo getting his forehand into play.
1-1.
John, obviously game 2 was super close, super tight, could have gone either way. Koyo took game 1 11-7. We talked about how that edge ball swung the momentum. That game felt really close too. Have you noticed any adjustments from Silva over the course of the match is the question I'm getting to eventually.
He realizes that on the serve and serve return game, he has to make an aggressive play. He can't just return it, especially those pop-ups. Koyo's just too strong.
Oh my goodness, can you believe that?
I mean, Silva is fighting so hard from the backcourt, just keeping the attacks going, and finally, Koyo's last ball clips the top of the net and goes long.
If he gets any further away from the table, his feet are going to be standing in Lake Michigan, and yet somehow he's able to win that point from that deep. Timeout, Princeton. Matthias Habasson will chat with Koyo.
That's one thing important, no tactic, nothing. You scream, okay? And And next point, even if you don't feel, you just do it. Yeah. When you go to the box now, you move. You say chossa, chossa. Yeah, to get in the move. It's totally different. Yeah. Okay. Other things you keep. You think like exercise. You play his backhand, hand up forward like exercise. And when you have chance, then you change. Okay.
Yeah. Also use fast serve. Anyway he open.
Yeah.
Anyway he open. Don't afraid serve fast. Okay. Change placement fast. Okay. Go rally.
Come on. You go now there and make chossa. Okay. Come on. Come on. Don't be afraid. Come on.
Again, Przeppa with a few words of wisdom as well.
And I like that coaching exchange where one player is talking a little bit more about the mental and how to get ready, and the other one just talked about the serve. So there was nothing on top of the other one. Let's see if Koyo can stop this third game momentum. Again, Silva's serves have been hanging up a little bit, as well as his serve returns. He's got to get into the rally on his terms and not Koyo's. And that's what they said during the timeout. Be ready for the deep serve.
He was ready.
4-4.
2 points out of the timeout. That is a great return on investment.
Is this going to be the weekend of the deep serve, Sean?
It looks that way. Changing ends at 5 here in game 3. But that forehand block down the line by Koyo is not easy. Keeping the ball in front of him, quickly out to the forehand, but somehow not only putting his paddle on the ball, but bringing it back down the line.
5-4.
Score was wrong on the flip card. 5-4 to Koyo. He's won the last 3 points. And now 4 in a row for Koyo Kanamitsu and Princeton.
Evan, these are such big points right now. This is what Princeton, that's why they call the timeout. They want to extend this game and match lead.
The 5-0 run. And we talked a lot about Silva's record. Silva was 20 games above 500 in singles for the whole season, but Koyo's not too far behind. Koyo did not play as many matches as Silva. He was 14 games above 500, finished 25 and 11 in singles games.
8-4.
And look
Both
at that.
these guys are excellent in golden games too.
Backhand over the table. Just taking that soft opening and driving it.
First point for Silva since the Princeton timeout. Snaps a 6-0 run.
8-5.
If Silva can win this point on Koyo's serve, he's right back in it.
He
Right
went
into
for
the net.
Against most players, that first backhand attack that Silva did would have been enough, but Koyo is bringing everything's back.
And Koyo has reached
5-10.
the brink of the finish line. Game points for Kanamitsu. Silva erases one.
You could
quickly.
hear the crack on that forehand over the table.
They've broken the ball. Couple of chances to win it on his serve.
Gotta be
fights
careful.
off another.
Gotta be careful.
10-7.
No more timeout to be taken, even if he loses this point. But that'll do it. Kanamitsu wins 2 out of 3, and Princeton takes the opening pair of singles matches in this semifinal. 11-7 to Koyo in game 3. Same score by which he won game 1. And the Revolution have the lead heading into the doubles. The intensity continues to climb here in Chicago. Koyo Kanemitsu has put the headset on here tableside. Koyo, congrats on the 2-1 win. Exhilarating, exciting match.
Yeah.
What was it like for you getting ready to compete against Sonora, and how do you feel about the way you played?
Before the game, I know he's very safety player, and I should prepare many rallies. But he play much faster when I change his forehand. That was surprise for me. Yeah.
You know, two things that jumped out. One was the amount of deep serves that you were doing, then also the importance of the timeout.
Yeah.
Can you talk to either one of those, the deep serve or the timeout?
Because when I make short service, he receive every ball with banana, and I feel very uncomfortable. So after timeout, the coach and teammates say to me, that's better make long service. Anyway, he will open, so better after the long service and play open games.
Koyo, obviously the change in format here at Championship Weekend adds even more importance to the Golden Game. What will you do between now and the start of the Golden Game to both support your team and also kind of stay sharp mentally and physically?
Yeah, I think right now I have to support our doubles. I hope they can win. And yes, that's
All right,
it.
we'll let you go do that. Koyo, well done. We'll see you in the Golden Game. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Koyo's ready to watch the doubles. Are you?
Absolutely. This is going to be very interesting just because the team style matchups you've got with the Bay Area Blasters with Jinbao Ma and Lily Zhang. They're going to play offense on both sides, nothing fancy. But with Jishan Liang and Angela Guan, she's a defensive player. She's going to back off the table and chop the ball back, slicing it if you were a tennis player. And what that's going to do is give the Bay Area Blasters a chance to play some strong shots. When we talked to Jishan after his match, he's like, I'm going to be ready to counterattack, probably have to back up a little bit, but he's going to swing. And if his forehand is landing, there's really not much you can do even in the doubles.
Well, I said last month, earlier this month in Wichita, Lily Zhang and Jinbao Ma had their best weekend of doubles playing together, going 5-1.
0-0.
So Evan, one of the keys here in this matchup, can Lily
1-0.
be super aggressive so that when Angela has to return, or actually flip that around, if Lily can make strong attacks against Jishan, they won't see the forehand.
0-2.
But she's got to pick the right location because he can counterattack it with ease.
Now let me clarify, it was Angela and Jishan that went 5-1 in doubles together in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Last time that, they played late March.
3-1.
Jinbao Ma only played one doubles match with Lily earlier this month. They won 2-1 in that battle. Off to a good start here, winning 4 of the first 5.
Two, 4.
And Lily doing a nice job of putting as much pressure on Jishan as possible.
2-5.
That's what they need from Angela Guan.
Angela needs to step up, play offense when it presents itself. Great placement. when Jishan does get the opportunity to attack, he's got to place it perfectly. Otherwise, Jinbao Ma will counterattack himself and put a lot of pressure on Angela.
Three, 7.
Nice over-the-table serve return by Lily Zhang.
3, 8.
Lily very strong on the backhand side. And look at that 1-2 combination of backhands by the Bay Area Blasters. Well executed.
9, 3.
Jinbao Ma can take that backhand both down the line and cross court.
So far, Bay Area Blasters completely in control.
They would love to come out of this mixed doubles match with a 1-point lead if they can sweep.
4, 10.
Liang sends it long, and the Blasters, they easy march to the finish line in game number 1 of the doubles. Jinbao Ma and Lily Zhang take it 11-4. Let's see if the Princeton Revolution can change the momentum in the second game of this doubles match.
0 games to 1.
Whether the Bay Area
Presented to
Blasters'
serve.
dominance
0,
will continue. As Sean O'Neill likes to remind viewers, the order does change, and we'll see if that makes a difference.
This is going to put pressure on the Bay
0,
Area Blasters
1.
for Jinbao Ma to be very aggressive now.
Oh, can you believe that?
A
A chop off the net.
From the
Double bounce.
backcourt.
Ridiculous. Tough luck for Princeton.
Yeah, Jishan wanted to take a full swing. He would have lost his hand in there. Jinbao Ma
0.
at every opportunity look for him to attack wide out to Jishan's forehand. Once again, going wide out. Jishan has to stay in his backhand side in order to stay balanced, ready for
0, 4.
an oncoming attack, but it's the wide out to the lefty forehand is where most players will go. Lily playing very smart, keeping Angela off balance
0, 5.
to give weaker returns for Jinbao Ma.
Six, 0.
One-way traffic so far in game 2. I'd say, just from an anecdotal observation, the Revolution fans have been the slightly rowdier fan base so far here in Chicago.
We saw them coming in to the tournament hotel, and that is going to sting and leave a mark.
7-0.
Batters, take your base.
They'll take the point. My goodness.
0-8.
Jishan took 2 points for his team in singles, but it has been a struggle so far in the doubles. And in game 2, you wish you could hit the
0-9.
reset button if you're Princeton. But this is not a video game, folks. Taking some frustration for this whole game out on that ball.
Getting on the board with a put-away smash.
9-1.
Lily smartly got out of the way this time.
Ten, 1.
One of the most lopsided scores we've seen all season. Have not observed 11-1 more than a couple times all year long. 2 games for the Blasters to tie up this match at 4. See if the Bay Area Blasters can take the lead for the first time coming up right here. By the way, when I arrived here at Gentile Arena earlier today, the smell of the popcorn was wafting through the air, and it was just fantastic concession smell. Popcorn. Everything smells good here inside the home of the Ramblers. And so far, so good for the Bay Area Blasters in doubles. What, if anything, would you advise Jishan and Angela here to try and make this third game more competitive?
They've got to get as close as possible, because once we get to 5, they're changing ends, and we could see that second game come back to haunt them in that order matchup. If Lily and Jinbao Ma can stay close, they'll have a huge advantage in the second half of this third and final game.
1-3.
Should mention doubles has been something of a struggle for both these teams all season long. In fact, these 2 teams were the worst 2 teams in the league
1-4.
from a doubles standpoint. Chicago in that mix as well. Chicago and Princeton each were 26 and 40 in doubles games, but Bay Area was just 25 and 41. The poorest doubles record in the league for the season, and yet it might be the backbone of their team here in the semifinals. Make some sense of that.
Well, we've talked about the importance of the doubles. I mean, that's where, with these co-ed teams, the women can play singles or doubles. They can play both. We've seen them last week in Wichita. And Jishan once again trying to line up the forehand. He's going to have to get those to land.
4-3.
Yeah, but even if he hits the table from there, he's so far off the table, Jinbao Ma's getting that ball back.
And that's the trouble right there, is when both teams are attacking Angela Guan, who plays a defensive style. That ball's so high up. For her to bring it down and chop down on the ball, not easy. Again,
5-4 lead for the Blasters as they switch sides.
Right, you've got to credit Lilu Zheng for putting as much pressure on Jishan to just have to take a crazy counterattack versus setting something up where he can take a full swing.
Gotta think Lily is a soon-to-be 4-time Olympian. I mean, she gotta be impervious to the pressure.
Oh, and look at that over-the-table backhand. Right now, we're going to give her the doubles MVP award.
4-6.
She's just dictating the action, playing over the table exceptionally well. And now here, game 2 revisited.
4-7.
Oh, you kidding? Off the net, off the edge, and the Revolution needed some
7-5.
positive vibes. See if that can change the overall flow. And Princeton is back within one.
Angela's doing a nice job, of course, when you can get a net edge. But she's following up with, instead of just a straight underspin chop, she's mixing it up with the long pips on the red side of her racket. Oh, and look at Lily Zheng's backhand. Just jumping on that ball.
6-8.
Big point. Ouch.
More like it from Jishan Liang.
We have not seen that big forehand
7-8.
land, but maybe one other time.
More like it from Jishan. And we're tied at 8 apiece.
And Angela mixed up the serve, served it a little deeper,
8-8.
makes it more difficult for Jin Bao Ma to drop it short. But this is where Lily has really shined in this service order combo. Lily just plays so
9-8.
smart positionally. Doesn't take any risks.
This is such a huge point that's hanging in the balance right here. And a great return from Liang.
And that was not Lily's fault. Jin Bao Ma, his serve, too high. Jishan able to get his racket underneath the ball and just
9-9.
banana flip it cross court.
And this is table tennis in a nutshell. One game 11-1, the other game 9-all. Although for Princeton, you know,
they're battling back.
If they lose 11-10 compared to 11-1, it's not going to be a moral victory.
Oh,
and they have the lead here in a game point after losing the previous game 11-1.
And Jin Bao Ma thought he played a
10-9.
smart opening attack. But that ball, when it hangs up there, Jishan Liang is going to take a swing.
Oh, goodness! Jishan from deep in the backcourt, able to get it back on the table and handcuff his opponent. And the Blasters get 2 points in the doubles, but are unable to complete the sweep. Jishan Liang gets that ball back. The net helps him out. Princeton in front 5-4. Well, certainly a change of events in Game 3 of the doubles after Bay Area dominated the first 2 games. We're delighted to be joined by Lily Zhang. Lily, you and Jin Bao Ma certainly had a cook in the first 2 games. Congrats on taking 2 out of 3. What's the feeling now? You won the match, but I know you're probably disappointed that you couldn't sweep it.
Yeah, I think, overall it was still a really great match. We weren't sure how the style matchup was going to be because we haven't played, that type of style before. So I think, Jin Bao and I came really prepared, but definitely wish we could have had that sweep. But credits to them, they played really well in the end with some, risky shots, and it worked.
Lily, what is going to be your mindset going into the Golden Game? Are you going to be more aggressive? Are you going to play safe? How are you preparing for that?
Well, I think my game is more rally-based and safe, so I think I'm going to try and rely on my strengths and just, believe in my game. Yeah.
I mean, Lily, you've played a ton of big matches over the course of your career in Olympics and all around the world. How would you compare the feel of the first MLTT championship weekend in terms of intensity and pressure in the moment?
Yeah, I don't think it's any less intense than the Olympics. Like, honestly, it's everyone is fighting so hard out there, especially since it's a team match. We really want to do well for our team and bring our team, as much honor as possible. So, yeah, I love it.
What will you do between now and the Golden Game to stay sharp physically and mentally?
Yeah, I think, continuing to stay focused, to stay in the moment, not try and think ahead or think about the results too much, and that's what the Golden Game is. It's really point by point, and every point matters so much. So, yeah, just stay in the moment.
Well done. Well said. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Lily Zhang and Jin Bao Ma get 2 out of 3 in the doubles. And now a really interesting collision of styles between the Arab Lion, the veteran from Egypt, 44-year-old El Sayed Lachine, against the defensive chopper from Paris, who has played some of the most entertaining matches of the entire MLTT inaugural season, the electric Mathieu de Saint-Élan.
So with de Saint-Élan in the brighter red shirt, he will give up the table. No problem there. If the spin gets too heavy, instead of chopping it, he'll do what we call a fish shot, where he just kind of tosses the ball up, changes the spin on the ball. Lachine is going to try to get his big forehand in, especially when he plays inside out from his backhand side. You see he has an interesting racket shaped like a stop sign. One of the newer technologies, but look for Lachine to step around his backhand and try to play a cross-court shot into the backhand side of de Saint-Élan.
2-0 lead for the Frenchman.
0-2.
And there's the angle that Lachine, and right now, de Saint-Élan is looking over at the umpire.
1-2.
Okay, so now we're getting a little bit of
spice.
Exactly, where de Saint-Élan is saying he's not seeing contact of the serve. And this isn't the first time we've seen a little bit of spice involved on the East Coast. I will say there's no greater ambassador to the sport than Lachine. What he has brought throughout his career, former African champion, playing in multiple Olympics. Just a true
2-4.
great career. We're so fortunate to have him in MLTT, especially in the Western Conference, playing for the Blasters.
Well done by Lachine.
3-4.
Another guy who you think wouldn't be overwhelmed by the magnitude of the moment, all the big games he's played throughout his career.
And he really has some power. He doesn't always take the biggest shot. A good technique. Knows where to play it to.
4-5.
One of his big singles win against Cole from the Paddlers really sent a strong message, and that ball catches the net.
5-5.
Lachine can play against anyone in this league.
5-all, the accurate score. The second time that DeSantillan has just popped up a return and Lachine has taken care of business.
If that ball pops up even an inch, we saw that in the Silva-Koyo match, these players will put it away, and often they'll go into the body. That's one of the best places. Look here.
5-7.
Just in between where the forehand and backhand connect. And that time DeSantillan, great third ball attack. That's the challenge when you're playing a defensive player.
6-7.
We call it a modern defensive player. They can all finish the ball with ease. And that time, 2 big service points
7-7.
for Revolution. Mixing up the spin. Lachine knows he has to be aggressive on those serves.
My goodness. How did DeSantillan get that back and have it land so deep? It was a perfect return. And
he's in between a loop and a smash height and just caught Lachine. Oh, look at that power.
Great angle.
So sure of himself after he made the first loop, stepped into it, just powered through the ball.
Vintage Matthew DeSantillan right there, and he takes the 9-8 lead.
From the backcourt, and Lachine is taking monster swings.
For DeSantillan.
Just keeping it in play, mixing up the spin. You can see the spin on the ball.
8-10.
So much work for Lachine to have to hit that extra smash to score.
10. Timeout.
Timeout taken with the score 10-9 Princeton here in game 1 of the singles match.
Either when you decide to defend the service, you let the ball really drop, take it low. Okay? Because it automatically, you serve a little high, much upspin, you cannot do that, and then you smash, you know? You wait, doesn't matter, and then you make a little bit side, that the ball jumps a little strange. Or, if you feel like, you also can topspin this ball. Direct. Okay? Just patient. Yeah.
If you saw him walking down the street, you might not know he's a professional table tennis. I tried to catch it up, but it's high for this match.
I know. You must go either you go a little forward side, yeah, but later.
Which side?
To side, that the ball is a little bit side spin, you know, like this. No, with straight ball, with come around, just like this, yeah. Or if you feel like you also can put one like with spin, okay? Just come.
Lachine has one more serve. He can take this point, and it'll be DeSantillan's serve at 10-all. 10-all, golden point for the 3rd time in this team battle.
You play 20 points, and it comes down to just this 1 point.
And Lachine mishits it. DeSantillan takes game 1. Lachine with a wry grin on his face. He knew he was in position, but DeSantalan gets to the finish line. I'd sign up for 2 more of those. I'd sign up for 20 more of those. 11-10 for DeSantalan in game 1. Well, Princeton has now won 2 of the 3 golden points so far in this team battle.
0 games to 1. Blasters to serve. 0-0.
And Lachine serves to begin game 2.
One, 0.
You know, Evan, it seems that if they were to play 10
0-2.
games, I wouldn't be surprised if Lachine were to win 6 or 7. It's just DeSantalan is scrambling at the right time, keeping 1 more ball into play. But a lot of the mistakes have been Lachine. He's had the ball on his paddle, and right now, look for him to just reduce the errors.
0-3.
No mistake there. 3-0 here in game 2. 4-0 here in game 2 after DeSantalan sends the serve into the net.
And what a change had Lachine won the first game. Just like if Lily and Jinbao Ma could have swept, just the dynamics of how close these 2 teams are.
It's still stunning that we just saw the Blasters win 11-1 and 11-4 in the first 2 games. So 22-5, and then they lose game 3.
Well, Jishan's forehand.
Got cooking.
And the backhand at the very end. Angela played some very good shots. Think about that net edge combo that she did.
You know, that point, I feel like that point is going to be the difference in the match. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's 8-7 and that gives Princeton the lead and the slight advantage. And you might say, well, just a 1-0 lead at the start of the Golden game. It's not that it's insurmountable, but history tells a story. Teams that have begun the Golden game with a 1-point lead have won an overwhelming percentage of the time.
You could just see these single game blowouts.
8-1.
Right now, Lachine feeling much better. Than that. Oh, that's a nice return there by DeSantalan.
Two, 8.
And he's going to just take some swings. There's no reason not to. He's not going to win playing
3-8.
just controlled defense against Lachine here in game 2 with this score.
Three in a row. Still a pretty comfortable lead for Lachine, although a point or 2 away from it not being quite so comfortable. Serves here for Lachine with a 4-point lead. a tantalizing point.
And Lachine being so patient, mixing it up, drop shots, although that was high, very difficult to play the change of spin. And that's what Lachine has to pay attention, cannot overswing or forget to move his feet. He's got to stay active on his feet against the chopper. That's a nice deep serve there.
6-9.
By de Saint-Élan.
All of a sudden, from 8-1, it's now 9-6. Too good from Lachine.
Just not an easy way to go from heavy loop to just smashing through the ball.
10-6.
And this match is even at 1 game apiece.
Blasters.
Now 6-5 on the team tally. And a huge rubber game coming up between two talented veterans. Game 2 to the eldest player in the league, El-Sayed Lachine. Only 4 games remaining in regulation before the golden game will settle
Revolution to serve.
once and for all. Which of these two
0-0.
playoff teams will survive and advance to the championship Sunday? 6-5 Princeton overall. This match, 1 game apiece, 1 more game to 11. And Lachine takes game, the first point here in game 3.
Right. 0-1. 1-1.
I almost thought that came close to hitting the edge.
Wow.
What a return off the net.
2-1.
It shows you the focus that Lachine has right now in order, and you saw the thumbs up by de Saint-Élan saying, great shot.
Big show from de Saint-Élan after evening up this game at 2 points apiece.
And Lachine knows that the quickest way to get the ball by de Saint-Élan is on his first attack. As the points go longer, it's tougher once de Saint-Élan is that far back to pass him. But he can do a nice job of moving it around, going from forehand to backhand and occasionally dropping the ball over the net.
Oh.
Look at the number of net balls we've had here in game 3.
Saint-Élan literally laying out to get a paddle on that ball off the net, off the edge.
Where's Brossier when you need him?
Watching from France.
Four, 2.
That's just a great display of offense versus defense.
Lachine sees in control there.
Like I said, looking at the matchup, Lachine's power does work. It's just DeSantolan has been such a good scrambler from the back court. And DeSantolan shaking his head after that last point. Like, I can't stop that big forehand off of the serve. And Lachine just working the rally, taking his time, moving the ball around. A chance to even up this match at 6 apiece.
Well, if Lachine can close this out, it also will close the door on a potential 5-point lead heading into the Golden game. We know that it'll be either a 1-0 lead or a 3-0 lead, depending on what transpires with Jinshin Wang and Jinbao Ma.
And that power, Lachine.
9-2.
Just a mesmerizing display of table tennis. The fans oohing and eyeing here in Chicago.
And look at Lachine's follow through. Over his head, behind his head, just doing everything he can to create angles to keep DeSantolan in the backcourt.
That's game. Lachine lost Golden Point in game 1, but he comes back to really dominate games 2 and 3 by the combined score of 22-8. He earns 2 out of the 3 points for the Blasters, and we are deadlocked, Sean. 6 points apiece. One more singles match to determine who has the lead heading into the Golden game. Things are really heating up. Welcome back inside Gentile Arena here in Chicago as we get set for Jinbao Ma and Jinshin Wang and what will be a decisive singles match, largely because of what we just saw with El-Sayed Lachine taking 2 out of 3 from Matthew DeSantolan. Lachine joins us now. Congratulations, my friend. What a battle that was. To take me through kind of the roller coaster of that match from your perspective.
Yeah, he's a good chopper. And his backhand is terrible for me because also you know that I get injured and I need too much power to play against choppers. So it was a little bit hard for me and now I feel more pain. But it's okay. I'm very happy that we are now in the draw, I think.
Well, what changed in games 2 and 3 after game 1?
First of all, the placement of the ball. This is very important when you play against chopper because almost you are play against his legs. Because if he catch, he can play normally. Okay, so it's very important that you put the ball very far or very deep in his body, so it's like this.
Do you enjoy playing choppers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say that as we were watching the match, if you played him more and more games, we begin to see the separation. But the thing that I was surprised with, how great you were on returning the net balls at the critical time.
Yeah.
When he caught the net, you were still focused, still returning it. It wasn't a big surprise.
Yeah, because I was very close to the ball. So it's okay. You just need like little bit patient and okay, don't make silly mistakes. It's just return it because he was so far from me. So it's it.
Congratulations on taking 2 out of 3 points for your team. We'll let you take a few deep breaths, but
wish us good luck in the next matches.
Good luck. Golden game coming up. Thanks,
Thank you.
Al-Sayed, Lasheen.
Thank you.
Plays this game with a smile on his face. As you said, a great global ambassador for the sport.
Teaching all the young guns how to make a career out of it. But we've got 2 U.S. Open men's singles champions for the final singles match here in semifinal number 1.
Both these guys obviously with Chinese origin. Both among the top 12 players in the league according to the MLTT power rankings. I don't think any player improved over the course of the season like Jinshin Wang did. His level in September, October compared to what it was after the new year. He's just been a totally different player. Confident, powerful, dominant. See how Jinbao Ma handles it. Obviously, the winner of this match will give their team the lead heading into the Golden Game.
0-1.
Team with the lead going into the Golden Game has won 79.5% of the time this season. Obviously, you could also throw out the numbers because this is different than any other Golden Game we played all season long with the stakes and what is riding on this evening's action. Of course, Carolina and Texas, the other semifinal, about 75 minutes away. The lineups will be selected in the next 15, 20 minutes with Alex Yang and George Bitsigayo. In fact, it looks like they're doing that right now.
1-3.
In this particular match, Jinbao Ma, forehand-oriented player, wants to get his forehand going off of the serve. Jinshin Wang plays a little bit more conservative, a little more balanced game, likes to move the ball around, can play off the tempo of his opponent. So, again, both these players have won the U.S. Open, so they're no stranger to playing big on a world stage.
The difference is Jinshin Wang won it 9 years ago, and Jinbao Ma won it pretty recently.
Yeah.
4-3.
That would be December. So.
Wow.
4-4.
Stays on the table after ticking off the net. 4-all. Talked about Jinshin Wang's success improving as the season went along, but Jinbao Ma, his last 2 weekends of Major League Table Tennis in Seattle and Wichita, he went a combined 13-2 in singles matches.
It gave the Blasters the breathing space that they needed to qualify for the playoffs. I think Evan, with Jinbao Ma, took him a while to get comfortable with the 3-game matches and also the golden point.
5-6.
Completely has found his stride and is playing exceptional table tennis when it's needed most here in championship weekend.
Six.
Oh, a costly mistake there. Cannot afford to miss your own serve in this back end of the game. And look at Jinshin Wong just jumping on
8-6.
the following serve with a great placed backhand attack over the table. Wow. And a combo forehand. And you can hear the crispness of that ball, just snapping it in.
Miss there from Wong, but Jinshin Wong has a sneaky long wingspan that enables him to hit those balls over the table as crisply as anyone in the league.
If Ma can somehow win this game, I'll look at that last point as one of the reasons where he just kept fighting and not giving an inch.
8-9.
That over the table backhand wristy action of Jinshin Wong.
10-8. On them to 0.
11-8 in game one for Princeton as Wong dispatches Ma in the opening game. So a 7-6 lead for Princeton. 2 more games to decide who will have the lead heading into the Golden Game. Jinshin Wong with an 11-8 win in game number 1. The
1 game to 0.
32-year-old from China originally. 0-0. Jinshin Wong became a father during the course of this MLTT season. And his level has risen considerably over the past many months. First round draft pick, but he struggled early on, Sean. It was one of the reasons that Princeton struggled early on. But Jinshin's turnaround has been Princeton's turnaround.
It really has, and we're fortunate enough to get to watch these teams prepare and train and practice before their matches, and no one has been training harder than Jinshin Wong. Out there, first one in the venue, last one to leave.
1-2.
It's almost like he's caught his second wind at a later age. He's just playing stupendously great over-the-table play.
Stop. I sure don't serve inside. 1-2.
So warning there, making sure that the toss isn't over the table, and of course the 6 inches that's required.
Wow. That was power from Ma.
2-2.
Jinshin probably would have liked not to have had Ma get that warning and then add some extra fuel.
Two, 3.
Of course, we saw Ma in the doubles take 2 out of 3 alongside Lily Zhang.
this is what Jinshin wants to do. I'm sorry, Jinbao Ma. He wants to get his forehand into play, control ball, step around the backhand, keep Jinshin at bay in the backcourt. Blasters will take this pattern all day long. And these two teams are so evenly matched. Those are not easy loops to bring back. Jinshin Wang keeps the ball on the table, but Ma, his forehand, so penetrating, and now has some separation here in game 2.
2-7.
Great backhand there by Ma.
It's not too early, Sean, to start thinking about golden game order. In fact, if the coaches aren't thinking about it, they've been thinking about it. I'm sure it's been percolating in their mind all throughout the match. But it's looking like it's going to be an 8-7 game heading into the golden game. We'll see who has the lead, but either way, it's going to be up for grabs.
And I'm thinking that Coach Maggie would love to have Lachine match up against Santalan, as well as Lily, if possible, match up against Angela Guan. Those are two where they might get a sweep here or there.
3-10.
Tawan Zhang, if he were to play against Jishan, still going to give a little bit of a favorite to Jishan. And then with this matchup,
you know, it's different though in a 4-point sequence when you don't really have a chance to settle in, and you know the better player prevails in a game to 11 or 3 games to 11. But when it's just 4 points, sometimes the better player doesn't prevail.
Right, and it's thinking as if it's like a double deuce game. You got 4 points. Worst case scenario, you want to even it up at 2-2.
That's domination for Jinbao Ma in game number 2. So it all come down to this one last game in the singles matches to determine who has the lead headed into the golden game. 7-all, 11-4 for Ma in game 2. Well, we are just a few minutes away from deciding the golden game order. It'll be a 1-point lead heading into the golden game, and if you've been with us throughout the year, you know the intensity and vibe of the golden game is unlike anything the table tennis world has ever experienced. But this particular golden game that's coming up here between the Bay Area Blasters and the Princeton Revolution is the golden game to break the sound barrier of all previous golden games.
Yeah, you're going for the gold or the bronze at the end of that game. And both these players, for their teams, for their owners, the chance to win $50,000.
Stop. 1-0. Stop. Hold. Inside of the table.
Umpire called a fault on Jinbao Ma.
One gum.
Now he's taking a
Timeout.
timeout. What did you see on that serve, Sean?
What it looked to me, and I hope the umpire made the exact same call from the angle that we're sitting, is that he tosses the ball and it's now landing inside the edge of the table. You have to toss it up behind the back line, and then it comes down, you can serve. But if it moves forward and goes over the table surface, they're going to give a fuller explanation. But let's take a look here and see where that contact is made. If it's over the table.
Did his paddle hit his shirt as he was swinging? I mean,
That's generally not considered an issue, but they're trying to. Oh, he's saying that it's being tossed back from his hand. So almost like it's not staying still.
Well, his palm was not flat. It was angled when
Right,
the ball left.
right, and so the ball's moving. But if I'm the blasters, I make it abundantly clear. Show me what I've done wrong so I don't do it again, because that's his normal service motion. He is saying that his wrist is turning, that he's not tossing it up straight. That the wrist, as you said, Evan, it's moving and having some rotation to it.
1-1.
Interesting.
Most important thing for the players is just that the umpires stay consistent. You're going to call it on one player, call it on the other.
Important rally there from Jinbao Ma.
A great forehand. Just look at this
1-2.
out there and then turning the corner. Oh, look at that over the table forehand flip kill.
3-1.
Almost seems like with Jinbao Ma, anytime the umpire says something, it gives him a little bit more fuel for the next point. Had the opportunity there, but covering a lot of space to get that forehand in. What a fight by Ma. Just keeping the ball on his forehand side.
2-4.
Jin Wang had him all over the court, but Ma able to run things down.
Regardless of the outcome of this game, and certainly Jinbao Ma looks like he's in control, we're going to go through this whole match without seeing a single 3-0 sweep.
2-5.
That doesn't happen very often in Major League table tennis.
Even the doubles that look like it could go that way, it just tells you the importance that both teams are placing on each and every game.
Just for a little perspective,
5-3.
it only happened 8 times in the 88 regular season matches where there was no 3-0 sweep at any point during the singles or doubles. Speaks to how tight this has been and how the players have dug deep when they've been down to turn it around and swing momentum.
It's almost like losing 2 matches if you get swept. Your next teammate has to go out and sweep back just to go back to ground 0.
5-4.
And the other thing is, generally, players are changing tactics. They're making adjustments. So if something worked for 2 games, chance of it working for 3. Oh, look at that backhand by Jin Wang. That got all of his teammates standing up. Just snapped it in for a winner. Now we're tied at 5 apiece here in game 3. Oh, and now
6-5.
the revolution. Looking very strong here.
4 in a row for Wang. 6-all.
6-6.
You feeling a golden point to warm you up for the golden game?
I mean, it would be the only way.
6-all.
6-6.
The tension is palpable right now. Jin Wong runs out of room, looking around like, who decided to make our playing area this small?
7-6.
He thought he could get a hindrance.
So you want to sit in the front row?
And that ball caught the edge.
7-7.
Well, Wong apologizes, but he'll take the point.
As quickly as possible.
Don't want to anger the table tennis gods in a moment like this. Good karma counts for something. And now an 8-7 lead for Wong and Revolution here in game 3.
About this. 8-7.
Those are the young legs of Jin Ma, just putting the pressure on, making the first spin.
8-8.
Making Jin Wong a blocker to his offense. And somehow, Jin Wong finds the small opening from the backcourt to backhand loop down the line.
8-9.
Not going to catch. 9-all. These two guys continuing to fight. And what are they battling for? Well, they're battling for a 1-point lead at the start of the Golden Game. But you may say that's not important, but teams with a 1-0 lead.
Well, let's say the team that is leading calls the order. And that is a major benefit when the other team has to choose first in the matchups. You get to pick who you want to have playing out there.
Fierce forehand from Jin Wong. Teams with a 1-0 lead going into the Golden Game, 19-7.
10-9.
73% winning percentage. Jin Wong, game point. And we have a golden point to lead us into the Golden Game. This is just about as good as it gets.
Both
narratively,
benches
what you could have asked for.
Have team members standing up.
Ma has the serve at 10-all. 4th golden point of this match.
Net, 10-10.
Princeton has won 2 of the previous 3 golden points. Jin Wong prevails. And Princeton will take the lead into the Golden Game. He won an ultimate golden point earlier this year, Sean, against the Texas Smash in Rock Hill in December. Jin Ma battled, but Jin Wong gets it done, and the Princeton Revolution have the 8-7 lead with the Golden Game moments away. Bay Area Blasters and the Princeton Revolution squaring off in this first semifinal. And in the opening singles match, the fierce forehand of Jishan Liang was good enough to take 2 out of 3. That edge ball was a huge turning point in the second singles spot for Koyo Kanamitsu. Sonora Silva won a golden point, but 2 out of 3 for Koyo. And then Lily Zhang and Jinbao Ma dominated the first 2 games of the doubles. Jishan Liang, Angela Guan salvaged a point in game 3. El Sayed Lachine taking 2 out of 3 over the Frenchman. The Egyptian gets 2 points for his team, and then it all came down to a golden point in game 3. Jinshin Wang takes 2 out of 3 from Jinbao Ma, so the Princeton Revolution will have the 8-7 lead. Going into the old golden game, we are moments away from determining the order with Maggie Tian and Matthias Habasson set to decide the order of play, and we'll find out which of these 2 teams is moving on to tomorrow's final.
Eight 7 over the Bay Area Blasters. You will be starting with a 1-point advantage in the golden game. The golden game is to 21. The winner of the golden game advances to the finals. Since you are behind, Coach, you will be making the first pick and you'll be serving first. Who is your first selection?
Wenjiang Tao.
Wenjiang Tao is your number 1. Coach?
Xinjin Wang.
Jinshin Wang is your number 1. And your number 2?
Jishan Liang.
Jishan Yang is your number 2.
Jinbao Ma.
Jinbao Ma is your 2, and your 3? Sonora Silva is your 3.
Mathieu de Saint-Elan.
Mathieu de Saint-Elan is your 3 and your 4.
Koyo Kanamitsu.
Koyo Kanamitsu is your 4. El Sayed is your 4, making Lily Zhang your 5, making Angela Guan your 5. Good luck, coaches.
Do you like Matthias Habasson's decision there to put Jinshin Wang against Tao and de Saint-Elan against Silva to avoid the de Saint-Elan-Lachine rematch?
Yeah, I think he had to take a calculated risk there. We're going to have the ladies finish off, and I think the advantage there is to the Blasters with Lily Zhang against Angela Guan. Lily doesn't love to play choppers, but just her experience at this high level, got to give her the edge.
I don't know if this is in Matthias Habasson's calculus as he's making the decisions, but who's in the first spot is the person that would play the ultimate golden point if we get there. And Jinshin Wang has won an ultimate golden point already this season. This crossed my mind. Could that be a small factor?
I think it is. I think that Matthias thinks that far ahead. And not only to start this proceeding to create some initial space, but then to come back to it at the end. Again, we still have US Open champions out there.
Well, here we go. Tao Wenjiang serves first. Off the net, off the table, and Jinshin Wang takes that opening point. And the Revolution lead 2-0. Have you seen a ball pop up that high off the net all season long? I don't think you have.
And Tao Wenjiang was thinking about just playing it as low as possible. And that ball was returned too high. Jinshin Wang, great over the table backhand for the winner.
The mini golden sweep. Jinshin Wang takes 3 straight over Tao Wenjiang.
I mean, that is a great, I'm not going to call it a mismatch, but when you can take 3 out of 3, knowing that you would be playing at the end as well, Princeton has to be feeling good right now.
Jishan versus Jimbao. 5-0 Princeton.
And you can see the Bay Area is pressing right now. You see the score, down 0-5. Trying to get the lead back with one shot isn't going to get it done. They've got to be patient. That was a much better first attack. It's never a safe return when Jishan Liang's on the other side with the forehand.
6-1 now for Princeton.
Princeton can take their time, not go for such big risky shots, but play more positional. And then
3 out of 4 for Jishan.
I mean, just so solid. A 3-0 sweep and a 3 out of 4. This will be the matchup of the modern defensive player against Sonura Silva. And DeSantillan is not giving Silva anything to work with. He is loading up the underspin, forcing him to take a big shot. And this is their season right here.
And this is their last time out of the season if they can't come back and win it.
Slow down, patience, spin more, because when you backhand chop the ball, very heavy spin. Huh?
It's better for you to play to forehand. Your turn or next spin, then you play free. No need.
Relax, relax.
All right, let's go.
Okay?
Fight,
Huh?
fight.
Come on.
Come on.
Let's go.
Frankly, I'm surprised they didn't chat a little more back there. They had another 30 seconds to work with.
Yeah, that's the benefit of calling the timeout. You can choose the length of how long it goes for up to the minute. And that is a well-placed, patient point by Silva. No risk, just move the ball around. But not comfortable finishing that first heavy underspin ball. Now we've got some real separation here with DeSantillan trying to get to the midpoint.
Silva salvages the 2-2 split, so it's 9-3 as Lachine and Koyo take to the table.
And all Princeton has to do is keep splitting.
3-9.
They will be in a position to reach the finals.
Koyo handled the deep serve impeccably well.
And I really like Koyo's
3-10.
encouragement right after that point. Much more animated than we've seen him.
10-4.
There'll be a lot of pressure on Lily Jung to sweep to get back into this game.
One more serve for Koyo. And as you said, really it feels like a must sweep for Lily Jung.
Absolutely.
And Angela Guan may have other ideas. 3 out of 4 for Koyo.
And Angela needs to use the score to her benefit. Be offensive-minded. Don't let Lily pick and choose when to attack, but mix it up and especially use the long pips.
And look, with 3 out of 4 there for Koyo, even a Lily sweep here, it's still a 4-point lead, so pressure's on. And Lily sends it long. The Revolution seemingly closing in.
Angela's only thinking, try to get one out of these next 3 points. Oh, and she's gotten the first 2.
And maybe a sweep the other way.
I was going to just say that. I guess that's a counter sweep. So Well, that's a beautiful loop there by Lily on the forehand. Heavy, heavy top spin.
I think it's fair to also say, Sean, as accomplished as a player as Lily Zhang is, getting ready for her 4th Olympics, she's struggled at times in the Golden Game. Something unlike she's experienced. And Angela Guan takes 3 out of 4.
I mean, Angela Guan from the first week down in Daytona Beach, where she was having troubles figuring out a doubles teammate, to take 3 out of 4 against the 4-time Olympian.
Pressure is really on Tao and Zhang right now. He's the only player in the match that hasn't scored a point for his team yet in the Golden Game. And this is do or die right now for the Bay Area Blasters. They're trailed by 10 with Tao taking the table. Smacks a forehand winner on the first point. For one of these players, this very well could be their last time at the table this season.
15-7.
Just great opening on the backhand side by Jin-Shin Wang.
So Wang earns the split. The players take the points on their serve. 17-7. Princeton.
7-17.
Jinbao Ma serving to Jishan Liang. Miss hit by Jinbao Ma, and Princeton is just 2 points away from the final.
19-8.
We have reached game point. Sonora Silva comes to the table knowing that he needs to win all 4 against Desantalan to give his team a chance for a miracle. Sails off the back edge. The Blasters live at least 1 more point. Silva claims both points on his serve.
20-10, timeout.
And we're getting a timeout here from the Revolution.
No reason to keep your timeouts for tomorrow. They don't exist.
Yeah, no problem. Just come down. Yes. Just stay low and play quality in the ball. Okay? Make this just long, deep, and really focus. Finish this ball. Okay? Good.
Ready.
Come on.
Hey, let's go. Focus. Come on.
It's still game point for the Revolution. A team that started the season with just 1 match victory in their first 7 matches. They're 1 point away from being one of the last teams standing. Sends it into the net.
This could be our first sweep.
20-11.
3 straight for Silva. Still game point for Princeton. Into the net, and it's over. The Princeton Revolution are headed to the MLTT Championship match. Desantalan earns the clinching point. 21-11 is the final score of the Golden Game. We'll chat with an MLTT finalist after the break. The Princeton Revolution are in the first Major League Table Tennis Championship match. They win the Golden Game 21-11 to dispatch the Bay Area Blasters, and we are joined by Matthias Habasson, a man who never stopped believing when his team started the season with only one win in your first 7 matches, and now here you are. We could reflect on the whole season, but let's talk about the match and specifically the Golden Game order. What were you aiming for as you switched it up?
Honestly, I think it was obvious to avoid the pairing of Saint-Hilaire against Lachine because he actually almost destroyed him in the singles, even if he catch the first set, but this was also a little bit lucky. Yeah, so my plan was to just switch a little bit in the beginning the lineup and yeah, hope that that Maggie does the lineup like she did. But yeah, actually, honestly, today we saw how dramatic this system can be. I mean, we were very close until the Golden Game. Every set was like 9 or 10-10, and we were a little bit more lucky, I guess, until the Golden Game. Then we had the advantage of leading and reacting as first team to their lineup. So, yeah, in the end, sometimes also a little bit luck is deciding. Yeah.
Talk about Angela Guan's performance in the Golden Game. How big was that for your team?
Actually, I think she missed one ball, so that wasn't that great.
No, she took 3 out of 4 against Lily.
Yeah. She was very, very, very good. I'm just kidding. Amazing good she was. Yeah, but it's really, honestly, already I expected from her. She played so great in the last Golden Games. I'm just happy with her. Yeah, but also the way she's preparing, the way she's like training. Her attitude in front of the before the match is very, very great. So yeah, she's just deserving that.
What does it mean to you to be heading to the championship match?
A lot, actually. But I just want to go too emotional now. We have one very big match tomorrow, and yeah, it's just a very great experience. It's a great feeling to keep the hope of a title, yeah, and we will do everything to reach that.
Obviously, you know the Gold Rush well. You went to an ultimate golden point against Texas back in December. Yeah. What are your thoughts on what's going to happen with Carolina and Texas coming up here?
Oh, very interesting, really. I think everything can happen. In my opinion, Carolina is the favorite, yeah. But you see, this system is so, yeah, it's just always close and interesting and dramatic, and yeah. So I'm looking forward to watch this match.
Is there a chance we see Yevgen in the lineup tomorrow?
There is a chance, yes.
All right.
There is a chance.
Just wanted to throw it out there. I didn't expect to get the determination. Thank you, Matthias. Congratulations on being in the finals. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Matthias Habasson, the coach of the Revolution. And now we're going to slip the headset on Angela Guan. And look, you can look at that last game in the doubles as the thing that was the difference in having the lead going into the Golden Game that created the opportunity to get the order that they wanted. Angela, what's it feel like to be going to the finals?
Super happy and really proud of my team for, just making it all the way here.
You know, we were talking during the doubles match in that final game. You got a net edge, and then you played a very smart ball right after, and it seemed to change the dynamic so much. How aware were you, and how much was every point mattering in this whole match here?
Well, in the doubles, added up the first and second set, we barely even got past 5, so we were like, you never know in the third set, and let's just give it our best, because I can't even go that far from, like, there's no more low. I can't go any further than that.
And then in the Golden Game, your 3 out of 4 points against Lily just added so much power and so much intensity to your team.
Yeah, I mean, I had no pressure, and my team has been so supportive. I wanted to give it my best as well because I didn't think I touched the ball many times in doubles, but I was going to give it my all in the Golden Game because that's what counted.
Angela, congratulations. We will see you tomorrow.
All right, see you.
Thank you. That's Angela Guan, and meanwhile, a special ceremony happening here.
Marriage.
What?
How about this?
What do you say? What do you say?
Yes.
Woo! Congratulations. What a lovely couple. And you thought we were honoring Claudine. Congratulations. Let's give it up for the happy couple.
Well, in the aftermath of Princeton moving on, Seattle has gotten a win because the coach of the Spinners, Luba Sadowska, apparently just got engaged. Claudine was being awarded the Volunteer of the Year award, and she pulled the ring out, and this is incredible.
Speechless. What two amazing people who've meant so much to MLTT this season.
Well, championship weekend, I said things were just heating up here. We still got Carolina and Texas. We've already had 4 golden points. We have had a marriage proposal, and now we got one more semifinal in the nightcap, which begins 30 minutes from now. The matchups are set for Carolina and Texas. We got Lawrence versus Macbeth, Jong versus Naresh, Hazin versus Rebete, Angles and Kasahara. And then, of course, the doubles, Enzo and Hong versus Hiro and Amy. It's going to be a thrilling Saturday night here in Chicago. It has already been an exuberant weekend for the Princeton Revolution as they survive and advance to knock off the first place team, the best from the West, the Bay Area Blasters. Matthew de Santalon able to close it out for his team to win the Golden Game. So Princeton is in the finals. We'll see the Bay Area Blasters in the third place match at 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. But it's the Revolution that are in the match where everybody wanted to be. 8 teams started this journey. Only 2 will still be in pursuit of a championship at the end of the night, and one of them is the Princeton Revolution. They are into the finals with a 21-11 win over the Bay Area Blasters. Carolina and Texas coming up at the top of the hour. For Sean O'Neill, I'm Evan Lepler. We'll talk to you soon.